How are you? Appreciate you being here early. The first one in, and you never know. Maybe the only one in. You never can tell. Sorry. I'm looking some stuff up, thinking of some things to talk about, although obviously nothing is planned, nothing is ever planned. Um, have some regrets on how the conversation went down today. I missed whatever exchange was taking place. Our friend, it is what it is, was on the ball um, because I kept seeing um, that certain comments were retracted, and I thought maybe the person writing them decided they changed their mind or they didn't want to write anymore. I didn't know it was being um, taken off by someone else, which is fine because again, uh, Luis was on the ball, doing what you're supposed to do when you have someone's back. This is why I trusted him with the blue wrench. However, I regret, I was reading the comments. I hadn't gotten down to where the action started. My regret is that had I seen that, maybe I could have headed it off at the pass. Maybe I could have talked with our friend, and we could have had a better outcome. As it is, Chris K has a standing invitation to come back whenever he wants. He can explain himself or he can start over. Either or. It's actually fine with me. I don't personally need an explanation. We all have days where, maybe we're not at our best. Certainly I've had them. So, I did want to talk about, of course, I've been going through the 7 spiritual laws of success. Let's do that first. I could wait and see who shows up, but I find, it's better. You have the conversation regardless of who's here. That's the art of conversation. You feed off the audience, but the conversation goes on even if you are the audience itself. So I always keep that in mind. We started off on Sunday. These are to be practiced one each day of the week, and then you start over. Sunday is the law of pure potentiality, and it's stated as the source of all creation is pure consciousness, pure potentiality, seeking expression from the unmanifest to the manifest. And when we realize that our true self is one of pure potentiality, we align with the power that manifests everything in the universe. This is why it's the first one, pure potentiality. Because that means as pure potentiality, everything exists within us. Everything that exists within the universe also exists within us, because we are in fact and indeed the universe itself, an expression of the universe. We are a wave to universal consciousness. If the universe possesses pure potentiality, meaning that it has the potential for sun, for stars, for the elements, for the cells, for molecules, for atoms and particles, quarks and neurons, all of it had the pure potentiality for life itself to exist, for reality to come to fruition. That means we do as well. We just need to be aligned with the laws of the universe. And how we do that, taking time each day to be silent, to just be, to sit alone in meditation, take time to commune with nature. Nature will open up her intelligence to you if you just sit or walk, but just be quiet. Have some time to um, simply be in nature. The second law is the law of giving, which also could rightly be said the law of receiving, because you do not have one without the other. In fact, they're the same thing. As I receive a breath, I know it's going to be followed by an inhalation, continuously so, until I have that final exhalation. What we take, we give. Our friend Goldie is here. Hi there, lovely people. Hello, Goldie. How are you? So the law of giving and receiving is stated as the universe operates through dynamic exchange. Giving and receiving are different aspects of the flow of energy in the universe, and in our willingness to give that we seek, that which we seek, we keep the abundance of the universe circulating in our lives. I mentioned before the importance of how we give a gift to all that come into contact with us, be it on social media, be it YouTube. I make a point whenever someone comes into the chat, I always try to give a gift, silently, verbally, energetically, just a well wish, just a love, just a how are you, the gift of presence. Again, it could be silent, just send out a blessing. Easy enough thing to do. And again, you're keeping that law of giving and receiving in circulation. Goldie said that she is good. And Lucas says, hey there, lovely Goldie. And Goldie says that Goldie Danes, am I pronouncing that right? Is still working on those burpee videos. Much appreciated. Very much appreciated. I saw on my dashboard that for the last 28 days, I've been able to manage 762.7 watch hours. I don't know if that's good or bad. However, that could possibly get me to 4,000 in as little or a little more than 2 months. That would be pretty awesome. Goldie says, hi there, lovely Mocha. Lovely Mocha was a YouTube guest this afternoon. She got to come in and say hello. We had a conversation. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun having her. The conversation did not go, I mentioned earlier, as I would like. We had a bit of a hubbub, a bit of, what's another word that I'm looking for? Our friend Night Watcher is here. Says hello. Night Watcher, how are you? Night Watcher, my friend from Bangladesh. Milka says she is well, and how are you? Goldie says liked if I'm next to the tablet and commented. Very much appreciated. Goldie is saying hi there to Fire Battery. And Milka says, and we're here for lovely Eric. Goldie says, nice, I was busy at work, holding down my shift on my own. We were supposed to be two each shift. Somebody call in sick or couldn't make it? Wow. Night Watcher says 5.5. Mocha, did you see that? 5.5. 5 out of 5. Perfect. My best yet. Hopefully, that can be maintained. And I still have to work on my, let me get it up. I'm going to use a cheat sheet for the first one. Myanmar. I believe Flower should be in bed, so she won't see that. My pronunciation. 5 out of 5. You're just trying to get me to say it again, so I'll get a lower score. Mocha says hi to fire. Goldie says, but it's running 24/7, Eric, until the playlist is done. Man, that's awesome, Goldie. It's so much appreciated. I see light at the end of the tunnel. Mocha knows that I've been concerned as I'm in a battle of time and finance, seeing which one wins out. And what I would like to at least have, obviously, you got to work to be, I've mentioned before, and Goldie, you and I have talked about this, and I absolutely love the quote, St. Paul in the Philippians, when he talks about content. And I brought that up today because I thought about reading it in one of my passages that I've been reading, and I might do so tomorrow. It takes little enough for me to be content. I talk about that quite a bit with Mocha. You know, I like the thought of being a wandering yogi. However, I want to leave my wandering to the immediate surroundings. I'm extremely fortunate in that I've inherited a home. So the goal is just to keep it and live a quiet life of contemplation, poetry, meditation. Goldie says, my workmate quit and moved back to his hometown, and they didn't find a replacement yet. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Mocha says, that's tough, Goldie. You hold it down, though, I'm sure. Goldie says, yes, she did. Goldie says, yes, be thankful. I've inherited debts. I can't believe how incredibly thoughtful my parents were to prevent that from happening. They had foresight that I almost certainly have not inherited. One thing I do have, though, is, as Goldie said, thankfulness. And I am extremely thankful. And I did my best to show it to both my parents when I was a caregiver. For what they both went through, which was quite a bit. My mother's long battle with Alzheimer's, and my father's short but relatively intense battle with congestive heart failure. Mocha says, I'm actually in Zoom class. This is, what's today's class? This is Tuesday. It's not health. Night Watcher says, it's 3:30 a.m. I'm going to sleep now, so bye. Night Watcher, I appreciate you coming by. Even a brief time with a friend is a cherished time with a friend. Goldie says, I'm trying to be like your parents for my daughter. It was a blessing for me. Um, and my siblings as well. That's, I could say with certainty, just because you have that intention, Goldie, that it's going to happen. Lucas says goodnight to Firewatcher and Night Watcher. Night Watcher says goodnight. Goldie says sleep tight, fire battery. Lucas says deaf culture class. Goldie, I don't know if I've mentioned while you've been in the chat, Milka is using her remaining GI Bill to get her associate's degree in American Sign Language. Goldie says, well, she doesn't have siblings, according to my knowledge. You would definitely know. Goldie says, oh, wow, that's awesome, Milka. Yeah, it is. She was looking for, one, she wanted to use the bill that was available to her, and what could she do that would be a benefit for others. She mentioned before that she had a deaf friend growing up, and she would have liked to have been able to communicate better with her. So, let's see. Goldie says, not exactly. Her father chose not to be in the picture. I'm sorry to hear that. What a loss for him. It's a loss for your daughter as well. But it's definitely the loss for him. I can't imagine having a kid and not being part of the life. Yep, Goldie says that's only his loss and my win. Definitely so. And your daughter knows how much truly you care for her. That you are there so much, 100%. Burpee Yoga Uncle is here. Aloha. Aloha, my friend. How are you? Goldie says, 10th grade deaf friend. It's nice that the friendship all these years later have left such an impression on you that you still want to do something to help people in that situation. Unc says, still alive, each day is a blessing above ground. This is true. You're still alive, still doing burpees, top of the game. No one does them better. I mentioned before that it is what it is. Says that Burpees Yoga Uncle is the GOAT, greatest of all time. And I hold it is what it is and extremely high esteem. So if he says Burpees Yoga Uncle is the GOAT, then I believe it. And to confirm it, all you got to do is watch. I mentioned him last time he was here. We had this conversation with Duncan. Him, still in the game, and Duncan are probably the three most explosive burpee practitioners. Milka says, also taking classes in another long-time love, photography, which has been pretty great. Goldie says, I get the privilege to shape her as I saw fit, and also made a point of never saying anything negative about him. I refuse to poison my daughter's heart. It's a loving attitude. I mean, obviously, it's the love a mother has for her daughter, but it's a loving attitude across the board. That you've did that, as you just said, how you refuse to poison your daughter's heart, because it might seem to some parents that they're doing that just against the father who's no longer in the life or didn't choose to be in the life. But poison is poison. You can't poison one person against another person and not have it affect the entire being. You don't just take in a little poison. That was a very wise and thoughtful and compassionate thing that you did for your daughter. And it speaks volumes to the person that you are and to the mother that you are. Milka says it's a beautiful language. Goldie says, nice, Milka. For those who don't follow Burpee Yoga Uncle, he is beyond a burpee channel. He had a recipe he put out today for, what was it? It was pork. It had a carrot. I'm trying to think what else it had in it. But he also talks quite a bit about philosophy, with Camus being an all-time favorite of his. I think of Camus often as I'm doing my burpees. Plopping on the ground, standing back up. Plopping on the ground, standing back up. It says, Sisyphusian, am I saying that right? Effort as any effort could be. Goldie says, nope, if they ever meet, I want her to make up her own mind, not be poisoned against him. It's very wise. And Unc says, bitter gourd, bitter melon. I should get Mocha to look at it and see if she can veganize it. Mocha has a talent for being able to veganize non-vegan food. She did it for my father when he was didn't have any hope of reversing the congestive heart failure, but I wanted to add quality to his life, if not buy some extra time. So we changed his diet around. He had changed his diet around, doing the best we could, and Mocha made the dietary changes not just bearable for him, but delicious for him. He actually really enjoyed everything that she made. Unc says we keep rolling it up the hill and repeat and rinse. Exactly. Goldie says, I've never seen a bitter melon in my life. I'm not sure I have either. Unc says replace pork with tofu. That was pretty simple. Thank you. And it makes sense. So definitely check out Burpee Yoga Uncle. Not to mention, I think he has the second highest burpee streak. I think the only one, Burpee King, has more. And I'm far from reach. I'm at 840 something, closing up in 850. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a bitter melon either. So I'm going to take some channel responsibility that I often forget and ask people if they don't mind to hit the like button. It would be very much appreciated. It will please the people pulling the strings of the algorithms, whoever they are. Unk says, oh, check my video. It's in the first 10 seconds. We can do that right now. Goldie says, already did. It is what it is. Says, gotta try tofu now. The great thing about tofu, a lot of people say I can't stand tofu. It takes on the flavor of whatever you're cooking. So, you know, it almost sort of doesn't make sense to say. And then some say they don't like the consistency, but it has everywhere from extra firm, extremely firm, to not firm at all. So it really can fit anyone's taste. Not everyone needs to eat it though. But it could be an option. Goldie said she already did. I appreciate that very much. And says hi too. It is what it is. It is what it is. I was talking about you earlier, and how much I appreciated your service today. Because I completely missed what was going on. I was engrossed in reading off the conversation, and I missed it. But without a doubt, you know, there's a reason why you have the wrench and that you are not afraid to use it. I was also talking about you because I mentioned to Burpee Yoga Uncle that you say without a doubt that he's the goat. Mocha says also can use wheat gluten if you're sensitive. Well, I've been told that I'm a fairly sensitive guy. Unk says, by the way, it's really bitter. Not kidding. Interesting. Quick and easy bitter gourd pork rib soup. Bitter melon pork soup recipe. So what I'm going to do is send it to Mocha. And she may choose to veganize it. Send it to her on Facebook. Which, by the way, I am on Facebook, and if anyone ever wanted to come by and say hi on Facebook, or friends, I'm friends with Brian Lane on Facebook and Sam Thrussell, Fitness Thrussell, as well. I'm trying to think of who else. A few other people. Joe Hortai, who I don't see often and doesn't do videos anymore. Luis says, Uncle the Goat. You get a salute from It Is What It Is. Goldie says, how about the banana? Do you have two types? I don't think so. Just one that I can think of. Unk says, sup, I'm going to do just a Yogi recommendation for burpees, but I'm also want to do the shot collar routine. I would like to see that routine that we put together with Duncan. It's an amazingly explosive routine, but you know, you can't go wrong with a shot collar. It is what it is, says. No problem, Eric. I'm here for you guys. So I decided I didn't want to block anyone from my channel. Everyone should have an opportunity to have a new start. And if I block it, then I deny someone that opportunity for a new start. Doesn't mean that someone might not be timed out for a day, but everyone should have an opportunity to come back, I think, in my opinion. At the same time, as I mentioned before, it is my responsibility to protect the integrity of the conversation, and that means making sure everyone's respectful to each other. And never, oddly enough, it never even occurred to me that someone wouldn't be. I thought someone might come in and act as a troll, but they don't hang out for the entire session. They come in, they do their thing, they get bored, and they leave. Or they end up staying, and we've had this happen, and they end up having a good time with us, and the whole troll act is left behind, and they become actual friends. Mocha says, or the super firm tofu. That's what I like, actually. It's the one that I use. I haven't used tofu in quite some time, but when I do and when I did, it's really good if you're trying to do an egg substitute. Mocha said that it's high protein, that I highly recommend for scrambled and other things, as Mocha said. Louise says, I met Unk in Moses's chat, but Moses was only on day 14 or something. Wow, back in 2020. Goldie says that Goldie Dens is at 223. Wow, very much appreciated. I think my burpee playlist has 600 and some. I still have Unk's recipe playing right now. Actually looks really good, and I can easily see how tofu would work perfectly with that, especially the extra firm, because it almost has a pork-like texture to it anyway. Gordy says, oh, thank you for letting us know. It's your channel and your call. Well, at the same time, you know, I do want other people to have a say. If someone feels disrespectful, if I had to choose between someone who is consistently kind, compassionate, and caring, but they feel threatened or they feel unappreciated or uncomfortable in any way, then I'm always going to choose that person who brings that gift to the channel, brings a gift to that conversation. And Unk says, MG apparently will be doing Days of Burpees. It is what it is. And Unk says, I like the silk and soft ones from Korea. Ajindashi, am I saying that right? Tofu yum. Mocha says silken tofu is excellent for desserts too. I'm trying to think. The desserts that I've had. I know Great Sage made some stuff from silken tofu. I need to add tofu back in the mix. Not all the time, but maybe once a week. Be a nice change of pace. I'd literally eat the same exact thing every single day. I don't have any regrets for doing that, and I have very little urge to eat otherwise. If I need to be daring, if I want to go bold, maybe I will replace my Fuji apple with a different type of apple. Goldie says that's why I asked permission the other day, which is much appreciated. I trust, the people who have the capacity to be moderators here. I trust implicitly. Lewis says MG's flow is amazing. One of my top 3 burpee guys. Who's the other? Lewis. You got MG, you got Unk. Has room for one more. It is what it is, says I've never had tofu. If you ate it right out of the box, you'd be like, how do people eat this stuff? If you cook with it, you would never even know that you were eating something different. Especially depending on what you cook, because it literally takes on the flavor of anything you cook. So it would go perfect with the bitter gourd pork rib soup. Milka says mousse. I know they made mousse out of avocado, which was really good, surprisingly, because at the time, I had not even occurred to me that avocado would be used for such a thing. Unk says, WTF, and it is what it is, really? Mocha says chocolate mousse. Yes, chocolate mousse. Burpee says, or Burpee Yoga Uncle says, how that possible? You in San Diego? It is what it is, says Unk. And you, Eric? Man, I can't be in the top 3. I am definitely just a yogi doing burpees. I have no flash. I don't sell myself short. I do burpees every single day. And I don't take easy days. But if I had a superpower, it would just be consistency and enthusiasm. I am pretty much as enthusiastic to do my burpees today as I was on the very first day that I started. But I appreciate that quite a bit. Unk says, I met a dude in West Coast that never had papaya, but he was raised in Minnesota. So that's it probably. But you, no tofu. Go get Mapo tofu from a Japanese restaurant or Chinese one. It is surprising someone in California, the land of tofu, The land of tofu and wheat germ. The land of tofu, wheat germ, and yoga. My cat's in here saying hi, noisily so. Unc says, if you like spicy, go to Sichuan Chinese restaurant and ask for maple tofu. Milka says that is good. I never had it. It is what it is, says I would definitely try it now. And Milka says I would love to live in San Diego. It is what it is, says Uncle's energy and your calmness and MG's flow is my go-to. Well, man, I can't tell you what a huge compliment that is. I've actually, it's been noted before that people have said coming in after a 50K or a 50-mile race or a 100-mile race, and I had like no reaction. You know what I mean? Not fist pumping, jumping up and down, just going about my business. But yeah, man, I take that compliment as a huge, huge thing. Luis says San Diego is amazing. Milka has made vegan barbecue ribs, saying they're amazing. Good stuff. Salute from It Is What It Is. Milka says she'll look up recipes for mapo tofu. It Is What It Is says vegan barbecue. Milka, say it ain't so. How's that taste? Mr. Best says hi and what's up and hello. Hello to you, my friend, Mr. Best. I'm going to take you at your word. I'm going to take you at your channel's name, that you are indeed a Mr. and that you are indeed the best. So, Mr. Best, welcome. Thank you for being here. Mr. Best is a pretty awesome channel name. Goldie said, had tofu, never had papaya. Only saw it in Magai. I gotta get better at pronouncing things. You know what, Goldie, I need to look up Romanian cuisine. I don't know much about it. Milka says it is really good. Now you can buy vegan ribs. You can buy them in stores. I think you could probably buy them in Whole Foods. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they would taste as good as what Milka makes. Although I think Milka could recommend some store-bought ones that might be pretty good and that would satisfy a non-vegan. Mr. Best says hello, and we get some heart emojis. Thank you for that. It Is What It Is says papaya is delicious. Papaya is good. I'm a big mango fan. Man, I think everyone's a mango fan. And Unc says, I will make it and post it later on my channel. Super easy. Awesome. Goldie says, hi there, Mr. Beast. Mr. Best, sorry. Lewis says, okay, Unc. Hey, Louis, do you like to cook? Milka enjoys cooking. Goldie, do you like, well, you're a cook. You do it as a job. Mr. Best says, I'm actually at Lower Docks. So you are not you're not a mister. But that doesn't mean that you still aren't the best, though. So you will retain the title the best. Magai from the Jungle Book. I recognize the name, but the pronunciation was slipping by me. Look up Somali, Sarmel. I will do so. Romanian cabbage rolls. Interesting. Cabbage leaves wrapped around a variety of fillings. Mr. Best says, hey, I'll be right back with my regular account. Awesome. Appreciate you coming back. Unc says, I eat all things in moderation on planet Earth. The crazier, the better. I've enjoyed your market videos, Unc. Watching you go to the market, especially in Hawaii. Goldie says, I had mango, but how is pie different? Same type of texture. Man, mango is just so unique. I'm not sure how to compare the two. I might leave that up to Milka. It's been probably 2 or 3 years actually since I've had mango. Unc says, yeah, lamb brains, drunken shrimps, moving octopus, to name a few. I loved it. Wow. Milka says she loves mangoes. I recall. Unc, you ever heard of head cheese before? It is a Pennsylvania Dutch delicacy. My father liked it. I never tried it. It is actually it's some type of brain. It is brown or cold cut meat jelly. It originated in Europe. The Pennsylvania Dutch have it all the time. It is made with flesh from the head of a calf or pig. It's from a head, but it's not actually cheese. I could not bring myself to eat it. My father grew up eating whatever his family could get. They were extremely poor. Unc says, and the drunken shrimps are live? I don't believe I've ever eaten anything live except accidentally when I'm running and a bug will fly in my mouth. It is what it is. Says, yes, I'm actually in charge of the turkey for Thanksgiving for 4 years now. Do you deep fry? And it is what it is, makes the best spaghetti. Um, try dragon fruit. I believe I've had dragon fruit. You would love it. And durian. I've never had durian. I told that I would not be able to get past the smell. It is called the stinky fruit. But you kept back when you get past the smell. I've heard the same thing that Unc said, that it's delicious. And it is what it is, can grill. And he loves dragon fruit. $3 for one dragon fruit here. Wow. Yep, Romanian cabbage rolls. I looked that up. Actually looks pretty good. My grandmother used to make chicken paprikash. I'm probably saying that wrong as well, which is a traditional Hungarian dish. Man, my dad would have loved Romanian cabbage rolls. It says here that they are a central part of Romanian cuisine, the national dish of Romania. Well, so sarma would be the singular. It says the original Turkish dish slowly became integrated into Romanian culture after the Romanian principalities became vassals of the Ottoman Empire. Look, it says, ooh, cabbage rolls. Yeah, like I said, my dad would have absolutely loved them. Unc says, they are so good. You ever had durian? Oh my God, stink as AF, but so good. That's what I heard. I had a friend that actually won a durian eating contest in Thailand. I don't remember how many he ate, but it was a lot. Goldie says they can be made with mushrooms instead of meat, Mocha. Wow, that would be really good. I love mushrooms. Goldie says, but I love meat. It's my favorite veggie. Picked straight from the tree. It is what it is. Says, I can eat green mangoes. I don't like the soft mango. Yeah, I like mine pretty firm. Maybe not quite green, but pretty firm. It is what it is. Says, no deep frying yet. I might try it this year. I heard it could be dangerous. I always see the YouTube clips of people, fire just erupting. Goldie says, I know what you mean. In Romania, it's called turbo, and Hungarian, it's, I'm not even going to attempt to say that. Could not do it justice. It's a shame that I can't pronounce something in Hungarian, as it's my mother's mother native tongue. My grandmother could speak it, although I don't think fluently, because my great-grandmother could not speak English very well. Neither could her husband. Unc says, yes, they had Polish cabbage rolls before. So yummy, and pierogies. They make pierogi at races sometimes. It's really good race food because they're basically in a pocket. You can take it with you. You can run and you can eat at the same time. There's a race we did in Pennsylvania that was famous for its pierogies. It is what it is. Says, I got to go, guys. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for coming in again, Lewis. Very much appreciated. And again, I appreciate your actions this afternoon. Goldie says you're very close to the Siki paprikas. Interesting. Goldie says, thank you for being here. It is what it is. Yes, thank you very much. Goldie says it just made me laugh, but I'm not even going to try this. I was tempted. My tongue was on the verge of it. And it was my tongue that rebelled before my brain did. My tongue said, nope, you don't even want to go there. I have learned to listen to the wisdom of my tongue. Taking my sleep time supplement. Ashwanga, as corrected by Mocha, I think last night or the night before. This was an interesting food conversation. And almost everything mentioned, except for the live shrimp, can be veganized. I guess you could do tofu little shrimp and make them do a little dance as they jump into your mouth. Goldie says exactly, it's a tongue twister. Yeah. And my tongue knew it before I did, that's for sure. Let's see. I see there's regional and national variants. Albania has a version. Bulgaria has a version. Cyprus, Serbia, Turkey, Ukraine, and Danube. Interesting. Goldie says, my favorite Hungarian dish is vadas. I'll have to look that up as well. I would imagine Romania gets pretty good fish. It borders on the Black Sea. Burpee says, actually every country have similar food, like fried dough, dumplings, they all just call it different names. That's true. And I guess, of course, having a favor for spices, like Hungary being famous for paprika. What would be the big spice for Romania? Let's see if I can look that up. When I put in RL, the first things that comes up in my Google search, because I keep looking it up, Romanian bears, which should be a surprise to no one by now, knowing my love of bears and the fact that Romania has the largest population of brown bears in all of Europe, and that they are regarded highly, which makes me love Romania even more. Gordy says leek. And Mocha says sounds awesome. Let's see. Google tells me that parsley, dill, lovage, I've never heard of lovage, thyme, and celery leaves are common spices used in traditional Romanian dishes. These spices have strong flavors and contain vitamins and minerals that support the immune system. Lovage. Interesting. Goldie says leek for one region, garlic for Transylvania, boars for Moldova, not to be mistaken for the Republic of Moldova. I see the national fruit of Romania is the apple malus, which I've never heard. The national fruit of Saudi Arabia, if anyone is interested, is dates, which is a good choice. The peony is the national flower. It's a pretty flower. Well, all flowers are pretty. Goldie says, Mocha, I love the sauce even without meat. Quite a few of the Mid-Eastern nations have dates as their national fruit, or palm, which isn't surprising. Apricot is another big one, or as some might say, apricot, and by some I mean Mocha. Gordy says, and that's rare in my case. Oh, I missed that. That Mocha Vatis is a pasta sauce made out of veggies, mostly carrots and parsnips and wild meat. Gordy says, but dates is in their culture and religion. And they travel well, meaning that they are dried easily. So for being able to be preserved for a long period of time through long trips in the desert, I have anywhere from 1 to 4 dates every single day, and have for ages. They're also great to have in races because it's instant energy. Bangladesh, although our friend Nightwatcher isn't here to hear me pronounce that, their national fruit is jackfruit. Jackfruit, as Mocha can attest to, is a great meat substitute. You can do barbecue jackfruit, and it's really, really good. Unk says dates are good for going to the bathroom too. Yes, they are. They will definitely help you get the job done. Goldie says yes and no, but they also use them as fast breaking during Ramadan. You know, I found that out years ago when I first became vegan. Each date is 75 calories. So it's a great way for me. I was working out, I was running, I was training for races. So I needed to keep my calories high as I switched to a vegan diet. So I added dates in. And then one time they were completely sold out, and I did not know why. And they asked, and they said, it's Ramadan. So I asked the significance of that to a friend, and she explained the same thing that Goldie said, which is interesting. Goldie says, here we use plums for going to the bathroom. Milka says, jackfruit is good for vegan pulled pork. Yeah, jackfruit makes really good. You can do like sloppy joes. You can do pulled pork. Goldie says yes, and plums, prunes. Yeah, prunes are big here for that purpose. I would buy prunes quite often for my father. Well, Goldie had asked about different kinds of bananas, and I was only familiar with one really, but the national fruit of Cambodia is a chicken egg banana, which I had never heard of before. Goldie says, me too. Question mark about the bananas. I think further up in the conversation, we had a brief banana conversation. I think it was bananas, but yeah, chicken egg banana. Doesn't have much information on them. Canada's national fruit is blueberries, which some might say that sounds kind of boring, but blueberries are awesome. Blueberries are a nutritional powerhouse. Everyone should have a serving of blueberries every day. David the boy is here. David, how are you? Goldie says, in my mind, banana is sweet. Yeah, mine too. Goldie says hi to David. Pancake235 says hello. Pancake235 is an awesome name, and you should have been at our earlier conversation when we had almost an entire discussion just about pancakes. Feel free to talk about pancake love here. Goldie says, I love blueberry. Me too. I have blueberries every day, every morning with my oatmeal. And again, they are most, I think the word superfood is thrown around quite a bit. Blueberries are a superfood. They are packed with antioxidants. They are high in fiber. Pancake235 says, blueberries are my favorite. Yeah, mine too as well. I like strawberries too. Strawberries are good for the esophagus. And they're high in antioxidants as well, but I don't think anything beats blueberries. Goldie says, hi there, pancakes. Goldie says, I don't understand the term superfood. Foods that are extremely high in antioxidants, that cover a lot, that have a big nutritional punch above its weight class. So, like you have, all berries are good for you, but blueberries are a step above other berries, so they would be classified as a superfood, meaning that they just have more power to them. Pancake235, what is your country's national fruit? Seems here, Quite a few with bananas. Central African Republic, Cyprus. Gives them a little surprise. Cyprus is banana. Cuba is Mamey, Mamey. I have not heard of that. Denmark, it's strawberries. Excuse me, guys. David the boy says, you. I don't know if I'm a national. Excuse me. Goldie says, interesting. How about gooseberry? I don't know, as gooseberry would be considered super. David the boy says, in Romania, we eat a lot of watermelon in the summer. That's awesome. Egypt is bananas. In Greece, it's olive, which isn't surprising, although I don't have a tendency to think of olives as being a fruit, but I guess they actually are. And I do like olives. I only like green olives, actually. Beth Bits and Pieces says, just on my way to bed, I have dropped you a like. Have a great stream. Beth, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Appreciate you stopping by, and have a great night's sleep. Goldie says, David, where in Romania are you? Goldie being in Transylvania. If Funk is still here, Malaysia's national fruit is a durian. We had a conversation about durians. Unc says, I think most Western countries eat lots of watermelon in the summer. Certainly in the U.S. they do, that's for sure. Gordy says, of course, I mean region, not city. Unc says, I stand correct. The number one consumer of watermelon globally is China. I would not have guessed that. I would have guessed U.S. I would have guessed that just in the 3 months of summer alone, the U.S. would be number one. Goldie says, Neuss, that's on the Danube, and it's watermelon country. You know what? Where did watermelons emerge from? Where were they first cultivated? Burpee says China eats on the average 108 pounds of watermelon per capita. Wow, man, that's a lot. Goldie says Turkey. Huh. You know what? You know what doesn't surprise me? What doesn't surprise me is that Goldie knew that, because she seems to have the facts. She's in the know on so much, which always makes extremely fascinating and interesting conversations with Goldie. Burpee says so, or Burpee Yoga Uncle says, so each China person eats an average of 4 to 5 watermelons a year per person. Wow. I don't know if I've ever had more than a slice in one setting, let alone um, 4 to 5 watermelon per year. Goldie says, David, I'm in Transylvania. Uh, depression equals depression. Goldie says, that's a lot, Uncle. It is. It says that's a season here. I mean, that's an incredible amount because, as Unc says, they have 1.4 billion people times 4 to 5 watermelon per person. That's an insane amount of watermelon. They say it is good to eat watermelon before you go to bed because it's good for hydration. Goldie says we eat 4 or 5 watermelons in a season. Unc says we're talking about per person. Who would have thought that we'd be having such an interesting conversation on national fruits? Oddly enough, I started typing who, and I got to EA, and the first thing that came up was who eats the most watermelon. Chinese population eating around 70 million tons per year. Tons. In 2021, the United States consumed 14.4 pounds of watermelon per person, which is less than 1 watermelon per year. Man, the U.S. needs to step up its watermelon eating game. Cody says it's the best way to keep cool in the summer. Alex says per person times entire population. Well, Goldie says, yes, Uncle. Person, we only eat it in the summer. I don't know, but I'm going to start, Unc says, except China, I'm going to start a national movement to reclaim to get the title. My mission is now, I'm no longer going to be just Yogi doing burpees in his basement. My channel is going to be devoted to getting Americans to win the title of the greatest watermelon eating country of them all. Gordy says, but the population of China and US is way bigger than 19 million of Romania. That's a good point. They mentioned here with each fruit, anywhere from 20 to 25 pounds. That means each person ate 4 to 5 whole watermelons in 1 calendar year. No, it never even occurred to me. Gordy says, and that Last census is even lower, I think. Interesting. Unc says, obviously not everyone in China at 45, so some at way more, and some didn't eat any. What if there was just like half dozen guys in China who ate 72 pounds of watermelon per year and raised the per capita by their effort? Unc says that's the average. David the boy says, Goldie, where are you from? So it's awesome. It's actually, that I know of, 3 people from Romania. I have never heard of cloudberries. That is the national fruit of Norway. David said mango is nice. Yeah, mango is really nice. Quite a few countries have mango. India, of course. Ukraine is water elder. I've never heard of that. Let's see. Goldie says, okay, lovely people, I need to bow out. Another 12-hour shift starts in the morning. Yep, I'm going to call it a night myself. Goldie, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for all your help that you do. David the boy says, some Indian sweet mangoes. Yeah, it's the national fruit of India for sure. Goldie says, and I'm on my own again. I hope you get some help soon. So, yeah, we're going to call it a night. I'm actually going to go to bed myself. Burpee Yoga Uncle, thank you so much for coming in. I'm going to let you know if Mocha makes that soup, and we'll let you know how it is. David the boy, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. You know, we don't talk about fruit every live session. Earlier, we talked about pancakes. But I do like to talk about yoga. I love talking about meditation. All forms of religion, all forms of spirituality. All that deeper stuff. But we also talk about burpees. So, Milka, thank you for being here. Louis, it is what it is. Thank you for being here too. And Mr. Best, did you come back? I think we missed you, but I appreciate you stopping in. So everyone have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do some burpees in the morning, and then we'll do our regular live stream again. Thanks again, guys. Take care.